The JBL Extreme isn't as extreme anymore. The new top dog is the JBL Boombox. If you're considering either choosing between these two speakers or even considering upgrading, you probably want to know the main differences between these two speakers. So which is right for you? We're about to find out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and you can watch my full JBL Boombox review here after you're done watching this video. When it comes to money, there's a $150 price difference between the two speakers. The JBL Boombox currently retails for $449.95 and the older JBL Extreme currently retails for $299.99 at most places. But I've actually managed to find the JBL Extreme for as low as $226 on Amazon. If you want to pick either of these speakers up, I'll have links in the description below and I'll keep them updated so you can get the best deal possible. Design-wise, both of these speakers have the same characteristics. Both of these speakers have the same nylon mesh weave on the outside that make the speakers fairly rugged and repel almost everything. They both have the same button layout on top, so you can control your music playback, adjust the volume, and even activate Siri by pressing and holding the play-pause button. They both have dual USB ports on the back so you can charge your own devices. They both come included with a power brick and charge via their AC input, and they both have aux jacks. They even have similar speaker setups. They both have dual woofers on the front, dual tweeters, and they both have passive radiators on each side. But obviously the larger size of the JBL Boombox means much larger diameter woofers, tweeters, and passive radiators. All in all, the JBL Boombox is almost 3.5 times bigger and weighs 2.5 times more than the JBL Extreme. But the larger size of the Boombox means it can house dual 0.79-inch diameter tweeters, dual 4-inch woofers, and 4.17-inch diameter passive radiators on each side. Whereas the JBL Extreme has dual 1.3-inch diameter tweeters, which are larger than the ones on the Boombox, 2.4-inch woofers, and 2.87-inch diameter passive radiators on each side. Although the JBL Boombox is meant to be highly portable and has a built-in carrying handle that doesn't detach, it doesn't have the optional shoulder strap option like the JBL Extreme. And even though the JBL Boombox only weighs 11.5 pounds, it does get heavy after a while. And personally, I feel the JBL Boombox needs a shoulder strap option more than the JBL Extreme. Like, JBL could have just added the little hooks right here. Tech specs on either speaker are a little different. The JBL Extreme is using Bluetooth 4.1 and has a slightly shorter range of 50 feet, whereas the JBL Boombox is using Bluetooth 4.2 and has a range of 70 feet. But both of these speakers can connect to multiple devices at the same time, which is good. Both of these speakers aren't afraid of a little water either. But the JBL Extreme is only splash proof, whereas the JBL Boombox is IPX7 certified. This means if the Extreme gets a little wet, you don't have to worry about it, but if it gets submerged underwater, you're gonna have a bad time. But since the Boombox is IPX7 certified, it can get submerged underwater without any issues. It can even float in water and keep playing music. The first most noticeable upgrade to the JBL Boombox is battery life. I found that with the Boombox set in outdoor mode and at a moderate volume, you can get a battery life of 24 hours, which is what's advertised on the box. But if you use your Boombox in the slightly better sounding indoor mode at the same moderate volume, you should get a battery life of around 21 hours. Whereas under the same conditions, you should be able to get a battery life of 16 hours on the JBL Extreme, which is technically more than its advertised battery life. Nonetheless, both of these speakers have impressive battery lives that will last you multiple listening sessions. Regarding sound quality, these speakers perform very differently. The JBL Boombox has overall better instrument separation and a wider soundstage. It also has deeper bass, and there's even a hint of sub-bass, which is totally non-existent on the JBL Extreme. And to be clear, this is while the JBL Boombox is in the slightly better sounding indoor mode. The JBL Boombox also gets about 15 decibels louder than the JBL Extreme. When the JBL Extreme is at 100% volume, it's like the JBL Boombox is at 70% volume. Overall, with the JBL Boombox, you're not just getting a louder speaker, you're also getting a better sounding speaker than the JBL Extreme. But another important thing to take into consideration before buying either of these two speakers is compatibility. The JBL Boombox is using JBL Connect Plus, while the JBL Extreme is using the older JBL Connect. This is more important than you think. With JBL Connect Plus, you can sync up to 100 JBL Connect Plus enabled speakers. Right now, the JBL Boombox can connect with the JBL Flip 4 or the JBL Pulse 3 because they're both using JBL Connect Plus, but the JBL Boombox cannot sync with JBL speakers that are using the older JBL Connect. So you can't pair the Boombox with the JBL Extreme, JBL Pulse 2, JBL Charge 3, or any other older JBL speaker. But representatives on JBL's forums have gone on record saying that the JBL Charge 3 should be getting a firmware update this October so it can sync with JBL Connect Plus speakers. And they have also stated that due to technological limitations, the JBL Extreme will never be able to sync with JBL Connect Plus enabled speakers. So if you get the Boombox, don't get upset if it won't pair with your older speakers. And if you get the Extreme, don't get upset if it won't pair with any future JBL speakers you might get. So, is having a better sounding and louder speaker with a slightly better battery life worth a $150 premium? That's up to you to decide. Personally, I'm pleased with the JBL Boombox, but I did expect it to get louder. If you decide to get the JBL Extreme, just keep in mind it's probably on its way out. I'm willing to bet JBL is going to announce the JBL Extreme 2 at CES 2018. But I'm not knocking the JBL Extreme, it's still a solid speaker. Now keep in mind, this isn't a full review of either of these speakers. I'm just trying to point out the most important differences between them so I can help you with your purchase decision. If you want to learn more about the JBL Boombox or hear a sound comparison between the Boombox Extreme and Charge 3, then tap the icon in the top right and watch the full review. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It helps out more than you realize. For more product reviews and deal alerts, check out jimcaddy.net. If you want to support the channel, pick up a shirt. And I'll catch you next time.